Alright, so this is another quick video. This is something that we're not doing yet. We'll probably leave this up to Laura in the sanctuary, and we'll see if the worship team wants to use this. But this is just a little demonstration of what we can do. I'm getting this application open here, and what we're going to end up doing is we want to look at doing stage display. So what is a stage display? Well, stage display is the ability to take and have something different than what we put on the front screens on the back screen for the worship team to actually sing from. Things that will maybe give them the next line or so of the next slide, so that in case there's any hiccups or anything, they're one step ahead of everybody else. So let's go ahead and see what we've got. So down here at the bottom, you've got this main. That means that we're on the main front screen or whatnot. If we click that, it will go over and it will have our stage display. Now by default, notice that that stage display is pretty well empty. If I look at this, we can go through, and these are the different templates for stage display. Basically this one's got lyrics and next line. This one's got yeah, that's the same one. And then we've got lyrics only, so that would be similar to what we do now. Typically your stage display is just going to be black. There's not going to be any theming, no images and that kind of thing. Not that we do that anyways, but just making it easier to read from the stage. And then we've got page name, lyrics, next line, stage. So let's just say that we want to use this particular one. I'm going to double click that. So what that did is that brought it up where we can actually see the content that's going in there. So we've got a couple pieces of content that we have in our layers here. We have our stage 1 data, so you can see what we've got there. Then we can go down and see stage 2. Now typically what I would foresee us doing is this would actually be more down here. I'm not sure if I make this bigger, if I can add any more information into here, but we're going to expand that out so it could use the whole width of the screen. If we wanted to, we could throw some other text or something on here. I'm not going to do that right now. We're just going to delete that out. But we have the ability to grab other things, so we can throw timers into here. I don't need a timer. We can throw the clock into here, so if you wanted to have a clock so we knew what time it was, we can totally do that. Yeah, so we'll leave that one in here. Not going to bother saving that. Now, one of the things I noticed here is that, well, I don't have any content. So if I switch back to my main display, the sun comes up, new day dawning. Where is that text on here? Well, most of these songs, because they came in from Media Shout 6 or 4 or something prior, don't have any content for the stage display because they've never been built out. So there's this little synchronize button here, and we can just hit that little synchronize. That will actually pull in the main lyrics into these displays. Then we've got all those things sitting there. Now one of the things that I would do here is actually bring this up so that we know that we'd never interfere with what's going to be next. So I'm going to save this template as everything on. We'll just call it, right? So we've got our text. Notice that now the text kind of shows that it's up in the top versus being down at the bottom. Now if we wanted to, this is something that we didn't go over too much before, but we have our text controls here. We can actually say, here, I want to center all my text, so that back screen is always going to be in the middle of this section, not always at the top, just to kind of keep it clean. So I'm going to hit save again, yes. So now if I pop through here, that did not take everything that I wanted. So let me fix this. We'll go in here. I'm going to pick this, and then I'm going to synchronize again. That did not pull it down the way it's supposed to. So maybe that's a bug in here, that it's not grabbing it and pulling it in the way it's supposed to. But oh, there we go. Now we've got it. So now I want to bring that up. We'll save that again. Alright, now we've got it saved the way that we want it. So this information is back there on that back screen. So we could change the color of the text if we wanted to. We could change this and make it, you know, bright blue or something like that, but we're not going to bother messing with what we've got. So yeah, like if I wanted to make that blue, I think that would make things a little harder to read. Anyways, so we've got this set up. So what does that actually look like? Well, I will go ahead and we'll transition here, and now I will go ahead and fire a song. Now for what you're actually seeing, you should be seeing in the top left corner is what's going out on our front screen, and in the bottom right corner is what would be going out on the stage display. So notice that the content here that I actually put into the stage display actually sizes with that box, right? So that would be something that we probably need to be a little bit careful of. Let's just say that wasn't big enough, so let's we can go back over, I'll just push this back, so we can go back over here, select our bottom data, and let's just say that this is not near as big as we want it, so let's make that a 60 font, and since this is already a 60 font, and we could make this a 60, actually let's just make that a 50. And we could grab our clock, and we could move our clock over here into the corner. Now I'm going to go save this template again, and then we're going to enhance that template again. Now I'm going to pop that back up. We're going to transition this back over, and so now you can see this should have been, and it did not take again. So there's some weird things that go on here with how their themes work, because this font did not take to the 60 size, because that's how big it should be. So, you know, if I shrink that up, now we can, I'm going to save that again, and I'm going to apply it to my whole song. Alright, so now, as we go through, right, so now you can kind of see what's going to be popping up. You know what it's named for us up in the booth. You know what it's named here is Chorus 1A, or the worship team can see that, so there maybe is a little less confusion of what's actually going on. Let me go back one here. So what's nice is if we're on a instrumental, we're able to actually see this, and it will post out the content for the next slide, so they'll know what's coming up even when everybody else in the sanctuary doesn't know. So bing bang boom, we've got that set. We're able to add that content that quick and easy, so it's just a matter of syncing it into here and applying a template, and then our stage display would be on. So that's this other icon here that's been off the majority of the time. Currently I just have that off because, as you've kind of seen, I'm running my OBS Studio on the other monitor here that I'm using for doing the second screen or third screen, or stage display. So I'm kind of leaving that off so I can see what I'm doing on that. But anyways, that's all there is to it for stage displays. The only other thing for stage displays that we need to touch on is that if I have a sermon, for example, so here's a stage display for Jeff. Now, what we need to do here is, if my stage display is on, we can have this little mirror here, and that mirror is basically going to allow me to have that content in both places. So if I come back over here and I have that mirror on, we're in good shape. If I don't have that mirror on, we wouldn't actually have anything on there. So now, that being said, it does look a little bit different when we're actually over in MediaShout. When you're on the stage display, you will not see anything on that stage display, but you would see the content. So if I went to one of these slides, if I switch over to stage display, of course now it's making a liar out of me, probably because I was selected on the first page the whole time before. But yeah, you'll see everything right there. So stage display is just mirroring. If I would turn that off, I'm not sure. Let me see if I move that around on the stage display, if it moves it on the other. So that's actually something good to note. Even though we have PowerPoints being brought in, once we synchronize them, they will create a copy. So then we can actually come in and tweak things. So if Jeff wanted to have notes in his slide here, we could totally do that, because we can come in here and make changes. We could put something like this in here, and that would definitely get his attention. But you know, if he wanted to make sure that he touched on something, he could totally give us notes to put in there. So anyways, so stage display is something kind of neat. We'll see if we start using that. Currently, the way everything's hooked up, we'll have to do some rearranging of hardware to do that, but should be a pretty interesting deal if we want to start using that. Alright, any questions, let me know. Thank you for your attention.